About time we did another review. Today I am reviewing Formil and Doussy detergent and conditioner combination. This is from LIDL, their store brand. And you're watching FlorenceBallardA3060 on film. Okay, so it has been a while since I've done a review. Struggling to find things to review at times really. But I went out for a drive and I picked this up from a LIDL store. So Formil and Doussy are Lidl's in-store brand for their detergents. I chose the non-biological washing powder with a 40 wash size, although for me, or depending on where you are with your water hardness and how much you need to use, you may get less or more out of that. And to go with it, you have the Doussy Premium Softener 60 wash bottle, and this is the tropical collection with a gorgeous coconut fragrance. I think that stuff does smell nice. I smell it in the store. Mum approves of it as well. So I put this together to test with some very tough stains on these towels. More information on that later. But let's have a look at the packaging. So what I like with Formil, very basic, has a kind of blue for non-biologic. You do find that on a lot of detergents. Just shows what it does. Brilliant white gentle care, so that's good if you're needing something for whitening. And of course, with today's standards of washing, effective from 20 degrees Celsius up to 95. Now, the test, as you know, we do this on 40 or 30. I might even do to simulate today's washing standards, where people do seem to think that washing at 30 is hygienic. I wash at 40 because that's more the temperature people should be using. Here we have the care symbols. I'm sure everyone does know about what all these mean. Oh, that's a new one. I have not seen that on a fabric. Directions for use. Pause if you need to. Bright colours, Formil do a colour version, and there is also a biological version. It contains a water softener, so again, you don't need to be using Calgon or anything, and take it from me, that stuff does not work. I stopped using them about a good couple of months ago. Never had a problem with hard water after that. Just need to top up how much you need to use for your machine. If you're in London like me or a very hard water area, you normally have to add about 10 millilitres extra, and we'll have a look at that here in the dosing. So that's your temperature. So 40 is warm, 60 and 95. I don't really think a lot of people might use 60 for bedding and whatnot. So your dosage, so you go by how much you're washing. So 4.5 kilogram this is based off. Considering that today's machines are up to about 12 kilograms in loads, depends how much you're actually washing. So if you're doing a half load, minus 26 millilitres. If you're doing up to 6 or 7 kilogram, you add 52 millilitres. So you go by light soiling for soft water. So say we're hard water, and this is heavy soiling, but however, our load is roughly about, say, a 2 kilogram load. So we won't be putting anywhere near as much of that in. I most likely be doing the dosage for, I'll do the minimal dosage for this one. Maybe I'd add about 60, maybe I'd just do that, or 80 for the water, but even that's still quite excessive, so probably about 52 would be fine on that. And there's your warning symbols. God, I remember these when I was a child, all those things you love. That's one of those that you rip open from the top rather than around the side. Looking at the conditioner. So, tropical collection. First thing you see is coconut and palm trees. Really love that idea. Gives you that sort of tropical island feeling. 4 weeks of freshness. I can confirm these do actually last that long. However, when you use them in a tumble dryer, it does tend to hinder the performance a little bit. It's on the back. Again, your dosage and ingredients here. Shake before use. I have never seen a conditioner that asks you to shake stuff before use. It's like having a milkshake. Sure, I haven't picked up coconut milk. So soft, your dosage is 25 millilitres, extra soft 35 millilitres. Sachi Industries. Oh. Surbiton. 1.5 litre as well. And it's 100% recyclable as well, which is good. So I'm going to run you through what we've got for the test load, and we're doing it in the Miele today. So, these are just sort of old towels really. On this one, this pink one, it might be a bit hard to see on this, but this is... they're all this side. They're stains from wiping the bonnet of my car, so that's like dust, dirt, and probably a little bit of oil on there as well. Right, now this one is probably the most gruesome one. That there is earwax. I thought I would test it on sort of, you know, stuff like that. This here in the corner is some of that Rio drink that I love. I poured it on this towel and left it to sit for about a week. So these have had time to really set in. This is balsamic vinegar on this towel. See if I'll get rid of that. So I give it a mixture of oil, sort of bodily fluid. Of course, we don't want to use anything else. Oh, let's dirty this towel even more. The Miele needs a wipe. This thing gets really grubby, this machine does it. There you go. A bit more in the corner there. Right. So I'm going to open the box, fragrance, impression, and we'll see what happens. As I stated, you just pull this open by this tab. I bet it won't open properly. Oh hey, it opened. Can't remember what this contains. No, it doesn't contain any of those white specks, unfortunately. And then it opens. So as you know, we don't always get a complete full box, but that can smell nicely. Oh wow, that has got a very nice sort of pure smell to it, that has, which is good. Now for the conditioner, I have already smelled this, but oh, it's like coconut milk. It'd be nice if you had that on holiday. Let's get putting stuff on the machine and then we'll do all the dosage. Let's throw these lot in there. Obviously these towels will be re-washed at a higher temperature afterwards. But I just want to do a test for this. So one of the reasons I always show loading the washing machine is so that you guys know I haven't put any sort of additives in there, like I haven't put a fragrance booster in there. Normally when I do washing on my own, and that's not review, I will add fragrance boosters. Due to the fact that the machines I use and whatnot, or the dryer or washer dryer that I've got, tends to get rid of the fragrance. So we're putting 52 millilitres in. That's roughly about that much. They go straight in the main wash compartment. No limescale tablets or anything. Because what's interesting to see is how sudsy this will get. And then just one straight cap full of the conditioner straight in the drawer. Yes, I know the whole thing about not using softener with towels. I sort of have no problem with that. Never have. If anything, it actually helps me in my sensitive skin, because here the detergent doesn't rinse out very well in my area. I'm sure Brian will love that conditioner I've used. So, turn around to 40. Cotton's 40 cycle. What should we test this on? A thing of basis of 2 rinses I'll do to see. Oh no, 3 rinses I'll do, because a lot of machines do still do 3 rinses. 40 water plus means water, but it will adjust accordingly. It won't take 2 hours to fall, it will drop that down. So let's go. It'll be intriguing to see how this goes though. Formil, I can't remember what their suds level is. I think they seem to be okay. But we've done a smaller dosage we have. So this is the suds level after heating to 40 degrees Celsius, and we do the distribution tumbles. It's not actually too bad. At this temperature is when the enzymes are most active. So this is when stain removal is quite effective. But we'll see at the end if it gets rid of all the stains. Then we'll do 2 of those will be line dried, and then maybe some in the dryer. This is the first rinse performance, about 5 minutes in. We do a bit of a lower level because it's a lower load, but as I say, I always use towels because they're the most absorbent and most difficult thing to rinse. So I know if it can rinse out from towels, it can rinse out from anything else. There's a little bit of suds present there. However, there was a spin before the rinse, so doing well. I won't count the second rinse in, but we'll see what happens on the final rinse when the conditioner goes in, if it helps it. Doing okay though. So the fabric conditioner has been taken in, and I can actually smell it. It does smell quite nice. And it seems to be rinsing quite well, although the level is even lower on this part of the cycle. So, yes. But from what I can see, it does look rather clear. With the occasional bit of suds, and a bit from the conditioner as well. I don't know how much we can zoom in, can we see? No, that's fine. Curse machines with low water levels make it harder to check. And then we'll do the final spin, first check, and then one gets dried on the line, a few in the dryer, see what happens with the frame. Right, time to check the results. Stop around the side. Okay, so first of all we're going to do the stain test. So, this was the towel that had some stains from the mealer on it after cleaning, and after doing my car, there is nothing to be seen on that one. Check one. Oh my god, that fragrance is amazing. It's very tropical. This was the towel that had the Rio drink stain on it. Of course, the more thorough test is after we've done the drying, but to the naked eye, cannot see anything on that. So it's a bit like a yellow discoloration it was. What did this have on it? Was this the earwax towel? Okay, fair enough. It's gotten off a lot of that. Can't see any on that. And this was the balsamic vinegar. Right. So, didn't do very well in getting rid of that. It has gotten rid of a bit, but there's still some on there. Maybe for someone that you would need to wash that ideally on a 60, but I'm just doing it as a 40 because it's a fair test. So, it did everything else apart from oil-based food stains. Interesting. Okay, so that's that bit done. Let's dry these. I'm going to line dry some, and then some will go in the dryer, so we get an equal fragrance test of what lasts better. Right, so we've got these two that are being line dried. Not much sun today. And these two, in the stained one, being tumble dried. The idea is to check, does line drying affect the fragrance of this? And then what we're going to do is, I'm not going to do the tumble drying until at least about 20 minutes to half an hour, so this can get a head start drying, and then the stuff that's been tumble dried is not sat around waiting. We'll do a more equal fragrance check. Can't wait. Right, items are done in the dryer. Pleasantly soft, whereas the line dried ones are a little bit more harder. One of the main reasons I don't like line drying. But all for the sake of being tested. Right, let's get these in and we'll do a final check. Right, so this is a line dried item here. Okay, fragrance has remained partially on that. Though, as I say, it has dried a little bit more harder, but not too bothered about that. And here is the tumble dried. It's remained a bit more stronger in that, bearing in mind I've not used any dryer sheets or anything, but that has remained a little bit stronger in that. Okay, let's check the other. Yeah, that line dried. Interestingly, on the smaller towel it's a bit more stronger. Okay, but yeah, I can see the only stain it hasn't removed is the balsamic vinegar one, whereas yeah, dry ones it has remained in the dryer. Because the dryer does get quite hot. So the conclusion here, so we have the combination and the results of the washing. So in terms of packaging, nice and basic, shows what it needs to, a bit like what Ronsil says, does exactly what it says on the tin. Of course they do biological if you prefer that or require that, and they do colour as well for colour items. I have tried colour before. I was also quite impressed with that. No need for colour on sheets with those. It does good at keeping unlocking in the colour. So the powder did very well. This is, as you know, designed to work between 20 degrees Celsius and 95. It can be used on cold washes. You know, I don't recommend that, and a lot of people will tell you not to do 30 washes really, unless it's a freshen up wash. At least we're using 40 or whatever higher temperature. It helps better washing results, also keeps the machine clean, and it kills bacteria better. However though, it did rinse out quite well. Come to the second rinse with a load of towels, it was pretty good. Again, that also depends on the performance of your washing machine and your water hardness. If you are buying this in an area with soft water, you might find you have to dose even less, because soft water creates more foam or suds, whereas a hard water, it's very difficult for the detergent to achieve that unless it has a different formula, as I have learnt with other detergents. But it did quite well. Pleasant smell. It's nothing artificial. It's a standard cleaning, non-biological fragrance, and it's good for sensitive skin. I've noticed a lot more powders nowadays, especially non-biological. They are designed better and formulated better for people with sensitive skin, whereas before they weren't always that way. You'd always have to choose certain brands for that. So that's one good reassurance if you suffer from eczema or any sort of skin condition. Onto the conditioner. Pleasant fragrance, artificial fragrance of course, but what conditioners aren't, apart from the pure ones, which pure ones don't always tend to give off a very nice fragrance. It's nice to have a bit of conditioner with something nice like that. Maybe for the summer, you know, if you've got holiday clothes, you might want them smelling like tropical island smell, I don't know. But it also doesn't require much to be used. You've got a very small cap, because it's concentrated. 4 weeks of freshness. I can confirm that actually does work. I do have another Doussy conditioner, and I've still got stuff in my wardrobe or chest of drawers or airing cupboard that are still smelling fresh to this day with it, without the use of fragrance boosters. You get plenty out of both 40 and 60. You'll always find, however, that the conditioner lasts longer than the powder, depending on the size of load you're doing. Now, unfortunately, you cannot buy anything from Lidl online, and neither can I link anything to that, so I can just link you to the Lidl website. But what I do remember paying for these, and whether this has changed or not since I brought this is about 2-3 weeks ago, I paid £3.09 for this and £1.69 for the conditioner. However, due to recent inflation increase, that may have well changed. However, they do still remain cheaper than most supermarket other own brands, and definitely most other branded powders, with now your basic one being £5 or £4 from Daz. Prices like Ariel have shot up completely. I've seen £11 for most of their boxes, and they don't last as long if you live in a very hard water area like me. So for this, I'd probably get out about maybe 30 washes out of that on a regular normal size load that I'd be doing. Maybe a little less if you use pre-wash, if you have to do that for heavy soiled items. However, overall, very impressed with it, and this is going to be my daily use powder. I often get Formil or Almat as my daily powder, which is one that I use all the time in my machines, and the others are just for leisure, like Persil. They're just sort of a thing that I do use now and again. But this will be my main driver along with the conditioner as well. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. I'm back to doing some more reviews. I will try and find more things. Recently just reached 7,000 subscribers, but of course there is nothing to celebrate that with at the moment because I haven't got a machine for that. Right, hope that could be helpful. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to keep it supreme and go with the flow.